Hi everyone, today June 4th, 2026, we joined our good friend EURUSD 1 minute chart around 8 o'clock this morning, looking at the developments we had last night and also yesterday. What I tried today was from the geometrical shapes to simply extend to yesterday and kind of see if we can get some insights from that. Well, interestingly enough, we had a strong pull upward this night, I should say, around 1 o'clock in the morning. And I believe that this marks our shape right here. If I draw in the shape, of course, it perfectly matches this line you see right here. So from the crossing of the inflection line with this time separator, there is this line. Maybe I can shrink this shape a bit. There it is. So, and once I pull up to this one, right, I get my rectangular shape and it kind of overlaps this one. Okay, so, but once I extend from this geometrical shape and I extend back into yesterday, something very noteworthy happens, because you can actually see that we run into our exact low that we had yesterday from where the jolt occurred. All right. So, and these are not coincidences, right? This is not something I can, I simply come up with. The steepness of those lines, the length of those lines, the placements of those lines, they're all very carefully calculated. And so these things are no coincidence at all. Sometimes the market or, price action helps me to find these levels. Although the other way around, I could have also probably found this top right here. Okay, so a few days back we also drew in our rectangle, and it kind of helped us discover that the market returned to the outer bounds of that shape. So even though we are constantly pushing the midline of our daily range right here, and it looks like we're preparing for a breakout to the upside, I'm not totally convinced that it will actually happen. So because of this rectangular shape, I actually think that price will do, or will try and make a small pullback to the bottom of this shape. So that's what I think. I think therefore price will pull back a bit, and once it hits the lower bound of this shape, I think that will be our entry, and then I think we will surely just keep moving along this shape until we reach the top of our daily range at end of business. All right. Let me get back to you guys later in the day. All right, guys, we're back. So today was actually a holiday in southern Germany. Therefore, I actually was hardly in the office. So interesting, I guess, was our prediction this morning. We got in around here, and I predicted that price would make a dip before it would actually rise. So, and it did. I did expect the drop to only basically drop to the bottom of this channel right here. So that's why I took a first position right here. Then I saw that price dipped further. And surely, because in time we were a bit early, that is, not something unfamiliar to us. So once a dip comes a bit, stronger, earlier, then what usually happens is that it bounces on the circle rim, as it does right here. So you can see price dropping, bouncing on the circle rim, and then just changing direction right away, without a doubt. we were actually quite sure that price direction would be up. So we weren't expecting anything unusual today, other than we would have a bit of extra volatility going to the upside. Of course, today turned out maybe much better than we had initially expected. We put our target to the top of the daily range, which is right about here, so 116,340 roundabout. I got back into the office right here. I was actually attending a tennis training session, so I wasn't in the office through this market motion. I mean, we get a very clear kind of shaved off price action right here. So really strongly adhering to the top of this channel. And this is actually, again, a 2x channel coming from a deeper inflection point right here. So actually the same thing that we had yesterday, but instead of a bearish channel, this time it's a bullish channel. In the morning, we didn't draw in this channel. In case we would have done it, that would have actually reinforced our idea of price making a bounce right here, and it would even have improved our decision or our positioning for getting into the market. Yeah, so here we would have seen, well, let's wait for price to maybe drop to this line. So this is actually the 2x channel going up. And so we hit our circle rim, but also we hit the bottom of our 2x channel. Okay, and that turned out to be the leading channel, absolutely. Yeah, so we can see price action going up, and here not breaking past this 2x channel. I got out here because we were actually planning a family activity in the afternoon. And I felt more comfortable getting out of the market. So this is where I simply decided, okay, well, the top of the daily range is going to be the maximum. I'm just going to take it here. I was rather convinced that we're going to go to the top of this rectangular shape right here, though I wasn't sure where exactly. Yeah. So in many trading systems that basically just use horizontal levels, you can say, well, okay, this is going to be the price level. So, and in our system, it's, I guess, a bit harder to do since we're working with price time. So usually you're working with diagonal lines, and there is not just a price factor, but also a time factor involved. So to do a proper exit, how are you going to know what the proper price is? Okay. What's interesting, most brokers also don't offer, taking profit or taking a stop loss time-based. So to say, if this price and this time hits, then I want to exit my position. This simply doesn't exist. So you have to say, price, at this price I want to get out. So in our system, especially when you're not actively monitoring or managing your trade, this is actually a very hard thing to do. So especially when I walk away from the trading console, usually I just take my profits at a level that I know. So in this case, I wasn't capable of managing my trade actively. So I simply decided to get out at the top of the daily range. Okay, so after price was testing the top of this rectangle, surely that was actually just end of the business we were looking for. Here there is a lot of down movement as well. So you could easily, when you see, okay, it's hitting the top of this rectangle, it's maybe kind of pushing it a second time. This is where you can also basically take short positions, especially on days like these, where you get a very strong, push up along this channel right here, and then a push over. And this is where you see, okay, there's an overbalancing here, and it's basically going to balance back. Usually and mostly this move is not going to be as strong as the initial move. But for those who are a bit more risk hungry, or just say, well, I think that we're gonna at least visit the bottom of this 1x upward channel. For those kinds of traders, this is actually a good, I guess, a good strategy to employ. So in this case, we would have actually gotten some extra business out of that. But wow. Oh, all right. Thank you, ABP, for this contribution. All right. So, but this is great. Again, so geometric analysis is really about this type of price action and this type of information reading. It's all about geometry, and it's all about seeing those levels where these events tend to happen. Yeah. So the rim of a circle, or a 2x channel, 1x channel, you can see price very correctly, touching these lines, scratching these lines. Also here, a retest, and then you see, a rebound, holding on this line, then breaking through, and then looking for this 2x level, and from there, a steep climb up, shaved off price action. Same here, and here it's kind of pushing upwards, and then the strong pull down, and here the final retest on this line before then we're going down. And I guess, if you're looking for taking a position here, a bit of patience is probably your friend. Yeah, so kind of looking for situations like these. So waiting for price dropping below the line, and then looking for this final retest. I guess you're not always going to get it. Yeah. So this is, I guess, experience, a bit of luck, maybe. If you're seeing, well, we're pushing this rectangular shape, this could also be a very good entry opportunity. But especially on days like these, I would always advise to step in with smaller positions, simply because you don't know what's going to happen. Because a very likely scenario is also just either price keeps climbing the same channel, or it's just gonna walk along this geometrical shape, and that's the end of business. You simply don't know. So in these cases, I would always recommend to get in with a small position. In our case today, we took 2 positions and we got out on the top of our daily range. We made about 3.5% today. There's also some losing days where you're going to lose some, but this was a great day, especially since it was so incredibly predictable. We got in here and we knew, okay, it's kind of trying to it's pushing this half of our daily range, and here it was kind of flirting with the up move, but we knew that, okay, the time wasn't right. We're gonna wait, and it was well worth the wait, since it hit the rim of this circle, and then we got a great pull upward to here. And we got out a bit early, but I really don't regret stepping out, simply, because the trade-off is kind of a peace of mind in that sense. All right, so guys, great day. Of course, maybe a bit dull, I don't know, but for building our equity, it was really a fantastic day. It was predictable, getting in, getting out. And of course, as always, we're getting a great price action, especially along the geometric shapes and the channels. So I hope you really enjoyed this video too. Please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. Bye.